Good morning, my friends. Today I want to speak to you about a journey. We all must take a journey of preparation, refinement, and purpose. You see, before every breakthrough in your life, there comes a season of testing. But let me tell you something, testing is not punishment. It is a divine process, a refining fire where God is shaping you into the person who can carry the weight of your destiny. The struggles you face, the doors that seem to close, the silence that feels unbearable, these are not signs of abandonment. No. These are signs of preparation. God is not just interested in giving you a breakthrough. He is preparing you to keep it, to sustain it, and to maximize it for His glory. If you find yourself in a season where everything seems uncertain, where the answers you seek feel out of reach, it is often because God is testing you. One of the most challenging aspects of this season is the feeling of isolation. You may feel as though you are walking this path alone, but this isolation is not meant to break you, it is meant to focus you. God often separates you from distraction so that you can hear His voice more clearly. Isolation can feel like loneliness, but it is actually an invitation to intimacy with Him. Another sign of testing is when your plans are delayed or disrupted. Have you ever wondered why things aren't happening as quickly as you expected? Why doors that seem so open suddenly close? These delays are not denials, they are divine detours. God is testing your patience and trust in His timing. He wants to know if you will still believe in the promise even when it doesn't come on your schedule. The delay is not about the destination, but about preparing you for the journey. In the waiting, He strengthens your character and deepens your faith. Sometimes God's testing comes in the form of increased opposition. The closer you get to your breakthrough, the more intense the resistance can feel. You may face criticism, rejection, or unexpected challenges that test your resolve. These moments are not meant to discourage you, but to refine your commitment. Will you hold on to the vision even when the world seems to push back against it? Resistance is often confirmation that you are on the right path, for the enemy will not fight against something that does not threaten him. Another way God tests us is by allowing us to confront our fears and weaknesses. You may find yourself in situations that force you to face what you've been avoiding. This is not to expose you, but to strengthen you. God's testing often reveals areas where we need growth, areas that might hinder us from fully stepping into the promise. It's in these moments that we learn to rely on His strength rather than our own. The test is not about perfection, it's about progress. Have you ever experienced silence from God? You pray, but the answers don't come. You seek, but the guidance feels distant. This silence can feel unbearable, but it is another sign of testing. God's silence does not mean His absence. In these moments, He is teaching you to trust Him even when you can't trace Him. Silence is a test of faith, a reminder that God's promises are not dependent on your feelings, but on His faithfulness. He is teaching you to stand firm, to believe in what He said, even when you don't see it. Sometimes the test comes in the form of stretching. When God calls you to step out of your comfort zone, He may ask you to do something that feels beyond your ability, something that requires you to depend completely on Him. Stretching is uncomfortable, but it is necessary. Growth never happens in comfort. God's testing in this area is about enlarging your capacity to handle the blessing that is coming. He is preparing you to steward the breakthrough in a way that honors Him and blesses others. Testing also comes through opportunities to be faithful in small things. Before God entrusts you with more, He will test you with less. Are you faithful with what you have now? Do you show gratitude for the little before asking for much? These moments of small, unseen faithfulness are tests of your character. God is watching to see if you can handle the weight of greater responsibility. Your breakthrough is often hidden in your willingness to be faithful in the mundane. One of the hardest tests is the test of surrender. God may ask you to lay down something you hold dear, something that feels essential to your plans or dreams. This is not because He wants to take from you, but because He wants to give you something greater. Surrender is a test of trust, a declaration that you believe God's plan is better than your own. When you release what you hold tightly, you make room for His divine purpose to unfold. Sometimes the test is about your response to others. God may place you in situations where your patience, kindness, or humility is tested. How do you react when people hurt you or misunderstand you? Do you extend grace or do you hold on to bitterness? These relational tests are about shaping your heart, preparing you to lead and serve with love and integrity. The way you handle these moments reveals whether you are ready for the platform God is preparing for you. As you walk through these tests, remember that God's purpose is always redemptive. He does not test you to break you, but to build you. Every test is an opportunity to grow, to mature, and to become the person God created you to be. The testing is temporary, but the breakthrough is eternal. God is faithful, and He will not bring you to a test without providing the grace to pass it. Stay faithful, stay obedient, and stay focused on Him. Your breakthrough is closer than you think. When God tests you, He often does so through the relationships He places in your life. People may come into your journey who challenge your character, patience, or forgiveness. These individuals are not always there to harm you, but to help you grow. Sometimes God uses others as mirrors, reflecting areas within us that need refining. The way you handle these interactions can determine whether you are ready for what's next. Will you let pride or offense block your progress, or will you embrace humility and grace? Another aspect of testing is when God asks you to let go of your own understanding. His ways are higher than ours, and His plans often don't align with our logic. He may call you to step into the unknown, to trust Him without having all the answers. This requires faith that goes beyond what you can see. It's not easy, but it's necessary for growth. In these moments, God is asking you to lean not on your own understanding, but to acknowledge Him in all your ways so that He can direct your path. God's testing also involves pruning. Just as a gardener prunes a plant to promote healthy growth, God removes things from our lives that may hinder our progress. This could be relationships, habits, or even opportunities that seem good but are not God's best for us. Pruning is painful, but it is purposeful. It's God's way of preparing you for the fruit He wants to produce in your life. When you submit to His pruning, you open yourself to greater growth and abundance. Through every test, God is cultivating within you the qualities necessary to sustain your breakthrough. He is teaching you resilience, patience, and unwavering trust in Him. The process may feel overwhelming, but it is shaping you into a vessel capable of carrying the weight of His blessings. Each trial, each moment of uncertainty is a step closer to becoming the person God has destined you to be.